It all started in 1940. After the death of his parents, Dick Grayson went on to become Robin, the world's best-known sidekick. Eventually, Dick became his own hero and even stood in for his teacher and mentor, Batman. But no matter what mask he wears, at his heart, he is always Nightwing. Hey everyone, it's Phil, and this is issue 1 of our Nightwing special, crossover between Before the Bat, World's Finest, and, well, I guess we could say Channel 52 too, because our first guest, of course, is Miss Lilith Hellfire.
Hey guys! So happy to be back with you. I hope you guys aren't sick of me. I hope you find my insights at least entertaining.
And we're going to start off, these are going to go in no particular order because I'm going to get to some Titan stuff later, but right now we're going to start with, well, basically I'd say the big one that got me really hardcore into Nightwing is, the first couple issues of the first Nightwing ongoing series. You have the trade, you said,
Yep, from Bludhaven. It's issues 1 through 8 of the original Nightwing series. But I'm surprised that Ties That Bind isn't what got you into Nightwing. I thought that was a really great miniseries.
It was. I'm trying to remember, like, I got the one shot. I don't know if I got the miniseries before or after the first issue of this. But
I'm
no.
a huge fan of Dennis O'Neil, so that's what really got me into that. And then also the Rough Justice storyline, which of course Dixon did, was really good too. So.
I would say if anything got me into Nightwing and Dick Grayson before this, it was probably the Prodigal storyline in Batman.
That's a good one too. So yeah. I just love how Gotham's a messed up city, but Bludhaven's even more messed up.
I know, it's just like, you think Gotham's bad. I mean, the first issue opens with him handcuffed to a refrigerator that dumped in the river.
I think that they had a lot to prove with this issue because it's like we say a lot of the time with the New 52 reboot where they stripped everything away and a lot of things felt hollow. Then they had to backtrack and start filling in those gaps. I think that Nightwing actually hit the ground running when it came to the New 52 reboot.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like this issue, I mean, they were clearing stuff out, the ponytail, everything.
They were like, everything this is going to be the character we want it to be. We don't have to build anymore. We can just do what we want. It's like Marvel's Ultimate Universe.
It's just, you get the Black Mask Gang, and who's the hidden crime lord of Bludhaven, and this was a great time in comic, well, especially Bat books, because, I mean, it was written by Chuck Dixon, and he was writing, like, half the stuff. I mean, he was writing so many things. He wrote Nightwing, he wrote I think he was writing Robin at this time, Detective Comics.
He was the Batman.
But, yeah, it's just, there was a nice continuity to everything, because, Batman and Robin could come in and out seamlessly, and you didn't have to say, where does this fit in?
I mean, the beginning days, it wasn't bad at all. It's just when they had to start reneging on things. When it all went to hell. But I think that Nightwing, and just the character of Dick Grayson in general, has always been a really strong character. It's not too much you can do to him to make people hate him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just the guy. Like, when we saw him in the Cape and Cowl, we were like, duh. Everybody knows duh, right? And just when you were getting used to it, they kind of rip it all away, and they're like, you know what? We're going to revert. We're going to regroup. I'm kind of thankful for it, honestly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to struggle over, who's my favorite character in DC, Batman or Nightwing, but Nightwing wins hands down, because basically, Dick can basically do everything Bruce does, but he's actually a human being and not like a cold, unfeeling robot.
Which is, I think, a success of Bruce in and of itself, honestly.
Oh, yeah, Bruce and Alfred, yeah.
So, there's that. But, this cover was so great. Like, the covers for Nightwing were so great, so iconic, so bold and in your face. I devoured this whole first, 20, I think it was no, not 20. It had to be, the first, 9 or so. And then, I forgot what took my attention away from it, but when I came back to it, I had an even greater appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
The Nightwing stories kind of stay classic and timeless, honestly. They never feel dated to me.
Oh, yeah, no, I just read these, a week or so ago, and, yeah, not at all. In fact, if anything else, I'm like, oh, why can't DC be putting stuff out like this now?
they've got a long way to claw back to the top, honestly. They've had some really bad missteps and some really bad leadership. Won't name names, won't point fingers, but everybody knows it. Even the company overall knows it. And, they're struggling. They're struggling with what they want to be and who they want to be, unfortunately.
But yeah, because it's like it just seems like these days DC, there's not like a lot of, I would say a lot of the books, they don't have like a strong supporting cast because it's like
it's just cameos.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even in this, in these first couple issues, you get the corrupt police force, especially in the form of Dudley Soames.
I think what works for me, actually, is not the artwork. I think the artwork's really great, but I personally like the conversational moments in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something we don't really get unless it's like one of those big, huge events where it's supposed to be deep, meaningful, pensive, kind of deep in thought things. But the every day-to-day issues, especially now in this post-New 52 DCYOU thing, it's just punch 'em ups. Yeah. Like, no character development. And I think that Dick has had, like, one of the best character arcs and developments in, like, the whole history of comics. From Robin Boy Wonder to, Agent 37, so.
And it's like, not only do you get good stories, it's like, a lot of the action in this, it could be just, like, from an action movie.
Yeah.
Just that.
I mean, I love how his acrobatics come into play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But just like some of the stuff, like issue 3, when the Black Mask crew tries to, they take the whole drug lab with them.
It's like, what is this, Breaking Bad? Are you gonna wave your tiny
magnets?
Oh, isn't that the answer for everything?
Seems like it.
This is such a great arc to get lost in and get yourself acquainted with Dick, definitely. And I love that, I think the thing I liked about Nightwing the most is like, okay, not am I only going to be a vigilante, but I'm also going to be a cop. Like, you need a break, kid. You can burn yourself out with this corruption thing.
Well, this was before he got the idea to become a cop. He started as a bartender.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, dude, when they introduced that, I was like, this poor kid's gonna burn himself out, and he's gonna snap and be like the next choice. That's what I honestly thought. Like, something bad was gonna happen to him.
Well, that's what everyone was telling him, Babs, and, like, even Bruce had a problem with him carrying a gun.
Well, naturally. I was like, but if Alfred can do it.
I don't think Alfred even was back
it depends on what story you're reading back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed this. It's a great trade to have around. I couldn't imagine actually having to, I don't know how I got through the week to week back then, honestly.
Oh, I know. I think this was week to week. This was my favorite one every week, and I was just like, that's it? I'd devour the pages. I'm like, that's it?
Yep. I think most stories with Dick in it are like that, though, and that's what I always find really fascinating. How great a character he is, but how, like, underutilized, well, up until the DCYOU, well, no, halfway in the New 52, then,
mm-hmm.
Now it's a little oversaturated, but I don't mind.
I just think, like, the detective work and the acrobatics aside, even more so than Batman, people can relate to Dick.
I know all the other Robins can.
You are Robin.
Hashtag World's Finest, inside joke.
Then you get, the villain Lady Vic. This was her first appearance, right?
Yep, very first. Did that ever go anywhere?
She reappeared a couple times in, like, later on in the series, and trying to remember if she might have appeared in Batman or something somewhere. Maybe somewhere else Dixon was writing.
That was a little womp-womp for me. I can't really say enough good things about this, honestly. It's just like a gush fest. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your favorite issue out of the 8?
It might have to be. It's probably issue 6 with when Tim Drake shows up.
Of course.
Well, no, it's just I like the relationship they had back then, like the older brother, younger brother thing, and.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
And this was the whole thing when back in the day, Tim Drake's like, yeah, I'm never gonna be Batman. I'm gonna serve my time as Robin, and I'm gonna be done. And it's like, yeah, right.
That's what they all say.
Well,
only one can feel the cape and top.
Yeah, well, this was all before his dad died and everything, so.
I don't know. I think mine is 5, which is Ladies' Night. And it's just a line that sticks out in my head when he's talking about Lady Vic. He's like, talks like Jane Seymour, fights like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Also, Bruce Wayne shows up and Hank Hogan too, so I think that has a lot to do with that. Really kind of enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, Bruce Wayne at the end is at a party and doesn't realize it, but he meets Lady Vic.
Oh, whatever did happen to Maxine Reed anyway.
Who knows?
Oh,
the sad part is a lot of those characters might be dead, because remember, around Infinite Crisis, like, the villains bombed Bludhaven.
Oh yeah, they probably all are dead.
Good bit of them, either irradiated or dead.
They're all gonna come back at the end of Batman and Robin Eternal as zombies. As mother zombies.
Although the sad part is, now, thanks to New 52, a lot of that probably didn't happen.
Well, who even knows now that Convergence is back in play, which means everything's still in play? Who knows? That's the beauty of it. Anyway, yeah. 87, man. Wow.
Yep.
Such a time, though. I can't believe it still holds up, though. Like, I don't think if I read, like, say, the first 2 issues of Dr. Fate, like, 5 years from now, that it's gonna hold up.
Yeah.
Like, what's a selfie stick? What? Oh wait, no, that's Batgirl. Ugh. So yeah.
But what did you think of the like the little flirtation between him and the landlord Clancy?
You know me, I'm all for good flirtation. I'm sure that inspired a little bit of fanfic somewhere on Archive of Our Own. Somewhere.
Oh yeah, and then issue 7, you get the Wally West appearance. Well, he calls Wally to ask him about. He's figured out who the mysterious crime lord is.
I've actually never been a fan of those two together. I don't know why. It just seems like Dick would want to punch him. Like, constantly.
Yeah, but they kind of grew up together.
Yeah. Woes of a teenage sidekick. Well, prepubescent sidekick.
I'm sure a lot of us can, there might be a person who might seem, I don't know, annoying the general public, but, you grew up with them and...
I was gonna say something, but nope. Not gonna catch me.
All your friends just went, whew.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think if you have this, if you have, like, the individual issues, how old you were when you read this. I think that it's weird. Like, I loved him, and then I hated him, and then now I'm back to love him. I don't know why. I think he got too popular for his own good, and I'm kind of one of those people who's like, ugh.
Who, Nightwing?
Yeah.
Huh.
I went through a phase where I was just like, ugh, that again?
Oh.
Really did. But they fixed it, and it's okay. And he's better than ever.
But, yeah, I like the, well, he didn't make it out unscathed, but, Nightwing vs. Blockbuster, because he's way out of his class, but...
Blockbuster. You gotta love him. I hope they got paid some money for that. There's like kids going, wait, what's Blockbuster? I don't understand what it is. The company Netflix put out of business. Single-handedly.
These days you would call it an antique store, kids.
No, that was a good fight though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Dixon. He's still going strong too. Gotta love that.
Yes. Love to interview him.
Throw that out into the...
Oh yeah, and then issue 8 we get there. I think this is the first glimpse we get of Tad. Come
on. Tad? Who's Tad?
That's like the one thing that annoyed me about this book back in the day, month to month. I'm like, oh, not Tad again.
Oh God, that's it.
But yeah, like I said, I have some more of these in the works, but there's a couple other storylines I want to hit. Did you ever read the Nightwing Huntress miniseries?
I did. I didn't really like it though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that. You know what I mean? I never have.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Convergence thing goes absolutely insane. Oh, but I do want to say my second favorite line in the whole, 8-issue arc is, it goes, "You're right, I'm no Batman, but I'm close enough to shut you two down."
Yes.
It's just like, you tell him, baby. You tell him. So sassy. That's the one thing I really, really love about it.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I said. He can do everything Batman does, but he has like a personality. You get the humor, and you get like the action.
Yep.
And the skills.
All right. If you had to rate it? Out of batarangs.
The first 8 issues of Dixon's run. It's just so hard because I'm gonna.
I mean, it set everything up, so you can't really like.
Yeah, I know, and it's just like, I like Dixon's writing. Of course, I like Nightwing, and just the nostalgia. I mean, it's gonna sound, but it's probably a 5 for me because just it works for me on so many levels.
I think for me it's a 4 because they kind of rely. Like, I wasn't expecting to get that Bruce and the Wally West characters so soon into it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted him to kind of stand on his own for a little longer. I think this is the one thing that bothered me a little bit.
Yeah, but I think they did that a little bit to show that that he's such a big part of the DC universe. Because it's like Bruce didn't show up as Batman yet, and the Wally West thing was like 2 pages maybe. Yeah, it's not like they dominated the whole issue.
And Lady Vic was a little bit of a weak character for a while. It took them a while.
Oh yeah, so, they sprung her in, introduce her, set up some mystery.
Always with the mystery with the Batman.
Trying to start Nightwing's own rogues gallery, maybe.
Oh, let's just let him deal with Bat Family rogues and not his own. I think it's what we learned from that, honestly.
Yeah, but different city. What all the villains are going to start trucking down to Bludhaven?
Why not? I mean, they go from Central City to Star City.
Well, yeah, I guess, because like the very next arc after this, I think it's like issues. I think it started with issue 9. Yeah. Who was it? Was it Soames? One of them brought Scarecrow down.
That sort of kind of makes sense for what he wanted to do, at least.
Uh-huh.
So, it wasn't just like gratuitous. Sometimes, I just feel like Wally West was definitely gratuitous. That's the only thing that I would say that I didn't like about this mission arc. But it set everything up so lovely, and this whole ongoing title was so great. And I think it's why I had such a negative reaction to when they said that they were getting rid of that persona and giving him, his own run with him. I was just like, But Grayson is good in its own way.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I have to say, definitely my favorite incarnation is Nightwing.
Definitely.
Blue Nightwing.
Really?
Why?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's all good to me either way, I guess.
I mean, I like some of the storylines, but I mean, just the look and everything, I like the blue better. But you know why they made the costume red in New 52, right?
Why?
Well, they said because they wanted to link him closer to all the Robins, and all the other Robins had red.
What? That's
what I heard.
They did it?
That's what I heard.
Oh, that's stupid. Now I like blue better too. Just anyway, thank you for having me on. It was great.
Oh, thank you. What would you like to plug?
Let's see. I think that if you guys are looking for news about the DC Nation, TV, movies, and things of that nature, please do be sure to check out Channel 52, which is available right here on the Southgate Media Group's network of podcasts. If you want to talk DC or Archie comics, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you're on Tumblr, feel free to follow me and I will follow back. It's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com, and I also have 2 websites that I write for, popculturepostmortem.com, and of course, lilithhellfire.com. Looking forward for the DC TVU season to get back underway, which is coming up next week, so I'm going to be really busy.
You have some help.
Yes, I will.
And for me, as always, you can how do we even do this? Well, just email us, worldsfinestpod@gmail.com, or on Twitter, or at worldsfinestpod. Let us know what you thought about this. What storylines do you want me to cover? Because I'm going to have different guests every week. And if you want to do your homework, next episode should be Nightwing's New 52 series, which I'll be tackling with Mr. Tyler Patrick himself. So, yeah, all you Before the Bat fans should be familiar with him. And I know at least the 2 episodes after that I'm going to be doing Battle for the Cow with Mr. Dave White, and I'm going to be doing Judas Contract with Charles and Karen from Fandom Zone and Mr. Jesse Jackson himself. So,
ooh, that sounds intense.
So send, any thoughts on any of those storylines, send them to me. Like I said, worldsfinestpod@gmail.com or at worldsfinestpod on Twitter. And I have ideas for a couple more storylines, but anything you want me to cover, even if it's just one issue or a whole series, just let us know. So
ooh, I have one, Red Hood from the beginning.
What?
Red Hood.
Well, I was thinking, if you I'll give you the invite now. I was thinking maybe get a couple of us together, and maybe I've been wanting to do live commentary for Under the Red Hood. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I want to maybe tackle that. Nightwing's in it a little bit, but wait till Batman Bad Blood's out.
Yes.
Yes. So that's gonna be a big Nightwing one.
That's like next month.
For the Blu-ray, I think digital comes out next week.
Yeah, it does.
Because I usually get the physical Blu-ray, but I might have to get digital just because I don't want to wait.
I always get the digital, and then the funny thing is that it always leaks like 3 days before the digital anyway. So.
Cool. Tip for you kids.
I mean, if you're into that, I'm not into that. I support DC and buy all my merchandise except for the comic books that are given to me to review for free.
Mm-hmm. And just basically anything on Twitter, if anyone tweets anything Nightwing, about the comics or even like cool merchandise you have. I couldn't figure out our own hashtag yet. I'll work on it, but for now, just since
Flying Graysons, damn it!
I know, but so many people are tweeting that. But for now, since this is a crossover with Before the Bat, just give me just do the Before the Bat, the hashtag, the letter B, the number 4, and the bat. So Before the Bat.
Who's using the Flying Graysons? I want to know. I'll talk to them.
It's just everybody. There were so many different people that were like tweeting about Grayson, and I guess I don't know if they're trying to get everyone's attention. It's just like hashtag Nightwing, hashtag Grayson, hashtag Flying Grayson. Like, bro.
Nighty Nights is still available.
I want to put people to sleep. Alright. Is that it?
Definitely.
Alright, everyone. Come back next week. Like I said, do your homework, read New 52 Nightwing, and join me and Tyler next week. Alright, later.